Dag allemaal, dit is Timen van Haaster vanuit Washington DC. De aankomende dagen volg ik de Amerikaanse presidentsverkiezingen en laat ik jullie weten van wat mijn ervaringen en inzichten eruit zijn. In de video van vandaag ga ik het hebben samen met een collega van de MSL Group over die twee campagnes van Democraten en Republikeinen. Naast me zit Wyeth Ruthven, vice-president en expert als het aankomt op die Amerikaanse presidentsverkiezingen. Wyeth, first question, our impression from a European perspective or Dutch perspective is that these elections have been all about scandals, issues, emotions, entertainment. How did you experience that?
I think that's accurate. I think it's been unsettling to the extent to which this has been an issue about temperament and personality rather than about issues. I think the idea, I think one of the things that Hillary Clinton has done is made this a referendum on Donald Trump's temperament and that his temperament is unfit to be commander-in-chief. Donald Trump has tried to make this a referendum on Hillary Clinton's character, whether it's the scandal around her email server or the scandal around things in Bill Clinton's past, or he's tried several times in several different ways to make it a referendum on character, and I think that hasn't been as effective as what Hillary Clinton has done to make it a referendum on Donald Trump's temperament.
Yeah, clear. Yeah. And how does the public perceive that here in the States?
The issue in this election has been one that, the American people have felt alienated from their political process. They have felt that government has not addressed whether it's whatever issue a voter may care about, whether it's income inequality or, war and peace or climate change, whatever issue you care about, government doesn't appear to be addressing those concerns. And I think having a campaign in which many of those concerns have gone either unaddressed by the candidates or uncovered by the political media is disappointing.
Yeah. Can we describe this as a definite breakthrough of populism in the United States, or is it just something that goes with the candidate?
I think it will be interesting to see whether Trump's populist appeal lasts beyond this election. I think it's interesting, and I think it's an interesting contrast with European political systems because, in essence, if you look at the entire primary and general election campaign, you have Bernie Sanders, who ran as a socialist, social democratic candidate, Hillary Clinton, who ran as an establishment center-left candidate. You had a number of people, John Kasich, Ted Cruz, Chris Christie, people who tried to run as establishment center-right candidates. And then you had Donald Trump, who was running as sort of a populist, nationalist candidate with a lot of economic and racial resentment coded into his appeal. In Europe, those would be four different parties. And in the United States, because there's such a structural pressure for political ideology to converge into two political parties, Trump is getting a lot of partisan political support beyond what his ideology might indicate. The interesting thing will be is, do other Republicans use that, or do they recoil from that?
Maybe to delve a bit deeper into the campaign for the Republicans and Trump. It comes across as a bit chaotic or unstructured to us in the Netherlands, but is that true?
That is true. I mean, it's one of the things that's been true for many winning presidential campaigns is that you will find three people at the top: a chief strategist who sets the strategy, the messaging, the media, a chief communicator, a press secretary of some sort, and a chief operations officer, someone who makes sure that field teams are knocking on doors, that the ads are running where they're supposed to run in the television markets they're supposed to run in. If you look back over, the Obama campaign, you had David Axelrod as the strategist, you had Robert Gibbs as the spokesperson, and you had David Plouffe as the operations person. You can see that pretty soundly in the Clinton campaign right now, with John Podesta as the strategist, with Robbie Mook as the operations person, and Jennifer Palmieri as the chief press spokesperson. Trump doesn't have that. Trump has had 3 different campaign managers over the course of this election: Corey Lewandowski, Paul Manafort, and now this bifurcated system between Kellyanne Conway and Steve Bannon. And so, and beyond that, the spokespeople have been different. The operations part of that has been absent. It's been an unconventional campaign, both in terms of the messenger, in terms of the message, and in terms of the campaign structure. And I think it's cost Trump. I think there is a set of circumstances where if Trump had run a slightly better organized campaign, he would have a much better chance of winning on Tuesday than he does.
Yeah, maybe to contrast that with the Clinton campaign, the Democratic campaign. They've come across quite structured, solid, but nothing too exciting, maybe. How do you perceive that?
That's true. I mean, I think one of the things about campaigns and successful campaigns is that campaigns are cumulative, and that you have a lot of people in Hillary Clinton's campaign who worked on either Hillary Clinton's 2008 primary campaign or one or both of President Obama's campaigns. So you have a lot of institutional knowledge, you have a lot of expertise that has been built over several election cycles, and Hillary Clinton is reaping the benefit of that now.
Yeah. And maybe to end this with something, a line that came back in one of the debates. Could you bring up one positive thing about both campaigns from which companies or organizations could learn?
Sure. I think for Hillary Clinton, I think her ability of message discipline, which is particularly important in crisis communications. I think the way she handled the reemergence of this FBI investigation over the last 10 days. She projected confidence. She said the FBI should look at everything. I welcome the FBI looking at everything. I don't expect anything there to change anybody's vote. That's exactly what has happened now. I think for the Trump campaign, I think one of the breakthrough uses of technology here is that the Trump campaign, the rallies that he has, these mass rallies that he is able, the event software that he uses to ticket those rallies allows him to capture all sorts of data about the people attending, their email addresses, their phone numbers, things like that. And I think that ability to convert popular interest into a list of activists is going to be something that we'll see a lot of in the years ahead.
Is it something innovative in this campaign?
It's more innovative from the prospect that the software has caught up. That politicians have been doing rallies for years, but a lot of times it's a question of write down your name and phone number and we'll call you if you want to volunteer later. Or one of the ways this was done in the Obama campaign in 2008 and 2012 is while you were in the crowd waiting for Barack Obama to make a speech, they would say, text us your phone number and we'll follow up with you. The way a Trump campaign rally goes is that to get a ticket to the event, you have to go to the website and enter all of this information. So it's being collected one time, early on, in a uniform manner, which is something that's going to continue for other campaigns in the future.
Yeah, that's a great insight. So thank you, Wyeth, for this interview.